Greetings, my fellow descendants. It's your boy JK Pro, and I'm back with yet another interesting tutorial. Woo! Halagasha, I'm back with some super. Yeah? I'm ready to tickle you guys. I'm ready to mingle with you guys educationally and give you that education that you've always asked for. Alright, so now, perfect. Now, today, K Pro is going to be talking about the advertisement. But you guys like acting as if you guys are these English heads and you say it's an advertisement. Alright, so anyhow you pronounce it, it's fine. But I'm going to be talking about an advertisement. I'm trying by all means so that my handwriting becomes bigger so that you guys can actually see, right? I hope I'm making sense right there. Sure. So now, an advertisement, right? It's a promotional tool, né? Or you can say it's a marketing strategy, right? That we use, right? To do what? To drive sales or to make people to buy our product. If you are selling amakunya there in the streets or whatever, there's a way in which you market yourself. It could be word of mouth, which is the traditional way of marketing which we are used to, and then there could be posters, it could be a video which you see on TV, which you see on YouTube, ads or whatsoever. Once they say it's an ad, the word ad comes from an advertisement. I hope I'm making sense. So I already spoke about the importance of an advertisement is that it's to drive sales, right? I hope I'm making sense. So now in English HF, this advertisement, you already learned about English comprehension, right? And how it works and everything like that. Now, in English home language, what happens is that the advertisement is it's also a comprehension. How is it a comprehension? It's a comprehension because now it's the same thing. It's still the same content that you get in your section A comprehension, in your paper 1. But now, the only difference is that this one is what we call a picture comprehension. Why? We are asking you questions based on the pictures that you see. Remember, an advertisement has pictures, it has fonts, right? We are questioning you based on what you see. It could be a car, a popular car that is being advertised today. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we are questioning you based on what you see. But in the comprehension in section A, right, whereby it was the first question of paper 1, we were examining you on what you are reading. Remember, in section A, the comprehension there, it was an article, it was a text. There was no picture. So there, what was going on there, we're examining you based on the words or the sentences, the diction or whatsoever. But now, yeah, it's a combination because an advertisement will have a picture maybe of a car or whatsoever. It will have a heading, it will have a byline or whatsoever. So it's a combination of a picture and a text. Similar to a cartoon, if you've listened to the cartoon tutorial, whereby I say the cartoon is also a comprehension, but now we are dealing with illustrations or comic strips, whereby now everything is mainly focused on the comic strip or whatsoever, but even text is included. I hope I'm making sense. Now, let's move on to it now and get more deeper into it, right? In an advertisement, we have what we call persuasive techniques. And sometimes you can call it the components of an advertisement. Sometimes I call them the components of an advertisement. Sometimes I call them persuasive techniques, right? So these are the techniques that you actually use to create this advertisement so that it can be appealing and appealing to the community so that the people can actually buy your product. So now, if you can check properly, what happens is that now, number 1, every advertisement has a picture. That's number 1. 2, every advertisement has colors, different colors. There's no you can get an advertisement that is just plain. It's gonna look too dull, right? So we have color, right? Every advertisement has font. You'll find it having those big letters, sometimes small letters, cursive writing, right? So that's your font right there, right? These are the persuasive techniques. Please note it down. These are what we call the persuasive techniques, right? Techniques. I hope I'm making sense. Sure. So now, number 4, what else do we have in an advertisement? We have what we call a byline. This is mainly a paragraph or a few sentences that are used to actually explain what? To explain the advertisement even much more further. Do you understand what I'm saying? Sure. Then 5, we also have what we call the slogan. Usually you guys see this on TV when they're advertising these big brands, which I don't want to mention because I might get sued. But you know what I'm talking about. Even when they are advertising your most popular SIM cards or whatsoever, you'll hear them saying that. I hope I'm making sense. Then we have number 6. Which you find there is stats, right? Statistics, which are numbers, right? And then we also have what we call celebrities, which are also used there in an advertisement whereby they mention someone who is popular or whatsoever, right? Then we also have what we call pronouns, right? personal pronouns as well, which are included there. I say P pronouns, which is personal pronouns, which are included there as well, right? So all this forms an advertisement. I hope I'm making sense. Now listen, in English, what you learned before, you must carry it. Listen, paper 1 is intertwined. What you did in section A, question 1, you must carry that knowledge. Whatever I taught you from the comprehension tutorial, you must carry that knowledge to your summary, carry that knowledge to the advert, to the cartoon, and to the last question, because everything there is intertwined. The examiner or the moderator wants to see if you as the learner, you are able to take that information and carry it, or you're just cramming the whole thing. I hope I'm making sense. So now, check. What is a picture? We know that a picture is that image that you find. You can say picture or image, right? So what is important? We don't care if you know what a picture is or we know what color is. We know that obviously this is English home language. You know those things. It's fine. What do we care about now? We want to know, what does this picture do in that particular advertisement, right? What does the picture do in that particular advertisement? A picture does what? A picture, when you see a picture there, it sparks the attention of the viewer. Here we're dealing with the viewer, not the reader. Now, it sparks the attention of the viewer, because you view an advertisement, you don't read it, but you view it. It sparks the attention of the viewer. I hope I'm making sense, right? It sparks the attention of the viewer. Number 1, that's what a picture does. Now, a picture can also manipulate, right? It can manipulate the viewer. Right, it can manipulate the view, especially if it's beautiful or it's nice. Do you understand what I'm saying? It can manipulate, right? Sharp. Color. What does color do? Obviously, it's the same thing. It sparks attention of the reader. Because once you see something that is colorful, it will drag your attention. You can say sparks or drags attention of the reader, right? It drags attention, right? Sharp. That's what color does. It just does that. You understand what I'm saying? It just sparks attention, and then it drags focus whatsoever. We have font. Now, font, you could have case save, you can have whatsoever. At the end of the day, what is it doing? It could be manipulating, it could be manipulative, it could be sparking attention, it could be sparking attention, right? That's what font does, it sparks attention. Do you understand what I'm saying? The byline, what is the byline does? It explains, right? The byline explains what the advert is about, or the byline actually supports. Yeah? It could explain or also support, right, the advert. So the byline was actually created to just say that some people cannot just look at a picture and actually understand it. So we are going to create a smaller paragraph to explain what this advert is about, or to explain the product even much more further. Let's just say I'm advertising myself because you know I'm hot, obviously. So if I'm advertising myself, I had to put a byline to say the reason why I'm like this. My name is this and this and this. This is what I do. This is what I do. I hope I'm making sense. Né? So the byline was created to support the advert, because some people cannot just look at a picture and understand what's going on. So bylines are there to support that. I hope I'm making sense. So that's what it does, the byline. But the byline can also, since it's explaining or it's supporting, but it also manipulates, because remember, it's a text at the end of the day, right? It can manipulate, and at the end of the day, it can have irony, it can have figurative language, which is manipulative. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this person is trying to get the consumer to buy the product. I hope I'm making sense. Then we have the slogan. The slogan is manipulative. It manipulates the reader. It manipulates the reader. That's what the slogan does. It manipulates the reader, right? The slogan, it sparks curiosity as well. You understand? It sparks curiosity as well. There's a whole lot of things that the slogan does, right? Then we have statistics. Statistics are numbers. Your 80% to 70% to 30%. That just gives it gives the advertisement the advert credibility. It adds credibility there so that people can believe in it. For example, if they want to say 90% of the people in your community are coming to the show, let's just say it's a hip-hop show, and they say someone big is coming to the show, and then they say 90% of everyone is going. Now that stat is going to be like 90%, which means everyone is going, so I should go. So can you see that this stat is adding credibility and it's also being manipulative at the same time, right? That's why they use stats in an advertisement. Celebrities. We use celebrities also for credibility, because if they say someone is coming, you're going to say this thing is legit because this person is a big person, this person is known. So celebrities also add that credibility as well, and they also add popularity as well. they are also manipulative, to the viewer, right? Then we have pronouns. But which pronouns do we have? We have personal pronouns, right? Personal pronouns is basically now your we, your us, right? We use these ones to make you feel part of the advertisement. So we use personal pronouns to make you feel part. We make the reader feel part. Why do I say the reader, not the viewer? Because now pronouns, you can only use them where? In the byline, right? And a byline is a text. So a text cannot be viewed, but it can be read. So we use this personal pronouns, we use them to make the reader to feel part of the advert. I hope I'm making sense. I'm sorry for my handwriting. Dogetela by nature. Yeah, perfect. Now that you know all these things, you know what's actually going on here. Now, your question could be or might be, Mr. K Pro, how do all these things actually help me out? How do all these things support what I'm doing? Right? Simple. I'm going to show you. Check out Naka. This thing is so easy. It's not even a problem. Where now they're going to ask you questions and say, mention one persuasive technique or mention one technique that was used in this advertisement. Right? You can choose any of them. Right? They are going to say to you in the exam, I'm going to make a video, guys, of me going through question papers. Yeah, I'm just dwelling on showing you what the advertisement is and actually introducing the advertisement. I'm going to do videos whereby I'm actually dwelling on the questions and how to answer them. But these things are going to be able to help you out to actually answer these questions. Do you understand what I'm saying? They can highlight a celebrity's name and say, mention the persuasive technique that was used here and explain how it was used, which means you have to first tell us that they used the celebrity technique and they use it for credibility and for popularity. I hope I'm making sense. Sure. There's more questions that could be there. Now, another thing that you should look at is the byline as well. Remember, a byline is a text. Yeah? So if it's a text, remember, when you did section A comprehension, right? Section A comprehension has what? Has a text. It's a text value, which means everything that you learned there based on textual editing, based on, I'm talking about your diction, figures of speech, rhetorical questions, punctuations, and whatsoever, they still apply. Yeah. They still apply. I hope I'm making sense. Yeah. I hope I'm making sense. And then advertisement, right? Remember that when you're dealing with a byline, you must consider that a byline is a text. A byline is a text. So whatever you learned about text, your diction, your whatever I taught before regarding your comprehension section A, it applies here. They can ask you about irony in this thing. They want to test if were you cramming or you know what you're doing. They can ask you about diction. They can ask you about whatsoever that they want to ask you about. They want to see if you know how to analyze the text at the same time. They can ask you anything about the picture here. These are the techniques that they will be asking you about on your advertisement, right? I think if I could find a paper, I think things would make more sense. If I could find maybe a paper, maybe a past paper, probably. Just give me a minute. I just found a paper. It's English HL paper 1 2017. You guys can actually check out that paper, right? Now checking out that paper, I'm going to the advertisement of the 2017 paper, and then I'm seeing it saying shape ups whatsoever. I see there's a byline there. I see there's a slogan. I see there's a logo. There's all those kind of things. You can also add logo to these notes, right? You can also add logo. It sparks interest. You can also add logo to these notes, right? Logo also works, right? So now the first question says, what is the advertiser's intention in the sentence getting shape without setting foot in the gym? Do you understand what I'm saying? What is the advertiser's intention? Can you see that's a persuasive technique, yeah? And where do you find that? If you're gonna go to your 2017 paper, I'm gonna look for where that thing is. In the sentence. Now, the fact that this thing is a sentence, 3.1, yeah? The fact that this thing is a sentence, right? This thing is a sentence, right? This thing is a sentence. You can see that forever, as long as this thing is a sentence, it could be a byline, right? It could be a slogan, right? My problem is that I cannot identify where that get in shape is, so that I can tell you what exactly it is. Can I say, oh, get in shape, it's in the picture, right? Can you see that this text, if you are there on the paper, I don't want to dwell too much on it because I'm gonna have time to do that, but can you see that this get in shape without certain fit in the gym is inside the picture, right? So they're saying, what is the advertiser's intention? You know that this person is trying to persuade people to go into the gym. This person is trying to get people to actually sign up for gym, right? These are questions that are general questions, right? They do not need you to know these. These are just general questions. But we will have questions such as for 3.2, account for the inclusion of the personal testimonies in the advertisement. You understand? Those are the type of things that you should look. Comment on the effectiveness of the image used. This is where it takes you back to this. Effectiveness. What is effectiveness? Effectiveness is basically the purpose. They want to know if this thing is following its purpose. Is this picture doing what it's supposed to be doing? That's why you say yes, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, because it sparks the attention of the viewer. It manipulates the viewer's attention. But if it's not doing what it's doing, then you say the opposite of this. I hope I'm making sense. So those are the type of questions that you should be on the lookout for, especially on the effectiveness of the image of the advertisement. They want to know if you actually understand these type of techniques. As I said, I'm going to give myself time to actually go through question papers with you guys so that you guys can have a blissful examination period. From me, your boy, HK Pro, I'm out. And before I leave, I would like to request that everybody follows us on Facebook. It's SciMasters ZA. Is it SciMasters? I'm not sure. But it's SciMasters. No ZA, no nothing. Follow us on TikTok. It's SciMasters 3 on TikTok. Then follow us on YouTube. It's SciMasters. Just follow us there. Like, subscribe, comment. We would really appreciate that. Really, if you can just like, comment, and subscribe on our videos. Leave a comment. Appreciate us. Those comments keep us going. They make us do more. Thank you very much. Peace.